Hello again, Zion here. In the last video I showed my grass-type starter Pokemon, and in this video I'll be going over the design process for the fire starters, pun somewhat intended. Admittedly, I've omitted a lot of designs and artistry. I take one look and think, nah, I can do better. And this is a big part of the redesign process overall. Seeing what you've already accomplished and deciding that you can, in fact, do better at the time of seeing it. Sometimes, however, even that doesn't work out. For me, my fire starters were the hardest to redesign because of how much I liked the initial designs. I saw where I could improve, but every time it fell short of the original. So today I'll be revealing the second designs I had finalized for them to prove the point that not every design can match up to your expectations, and that's okay. But before I talk about the designs, I need to tell a story about a crow. I'll summarize it for time's sake, but this is the story of the rainbow crow, a Native American story. Long, long ago, the world was plunged into a deep winter. So the animals gathered and discussed how to deal with the cold. The crow, a magnificent bird with a beautiful voice and bright, colorful feathers, volunteered to ask the great sky spirit for help and flew away. Once it got there, it told the spirit about the growing cold, and the spirit offered the crow a stick lit with fire and told it to return to the world below. The crow did as instructed and flew back to the world. But in its flight, the smoke of the fire darkened its feathers and burned its vocal cords, turning its once beautiful song into a shrill squawk. The crow had sacrificed its beauty to bring warmth to all. The Great Spirit reassured it that its dark plumage and bitter flesh would make hunters not want to hunt it or its descendants. Man, these stories are too good. Gives me chills whenever I hear it. But, that aside, this is the story I had based my fire starters on. The story of the rainbow crow from the Lenape, also known as the Delaware. The idea would be to make a Pokemon that reflects it well. A vibrant first stage that grows to be more charted as it evolves. Sounds a bit gruesome when I say it like that, but you get the point. Now that we have some backstory, let's do some redesigns. First stage of this trio is Picandle, who was once, a long time ago, Picandle. This initial design was by far one of my favorites. It was just so cute. I love it, but I could see where I could improve. First off, it looked a little bit much like Fletchling, just drunkier. Thematically, they differed quite a bit, but as I've learned, appearances are just as important. My first redesign aimed to change the similarity, but yeah, I mean, it's not Fletchling, but it's just a magpie. There's nothing special about it. The only thing saying it's a fire type is the spots of red on its wings, legs, and beak. This design just didn't sell the idea of a plucky little bird. I didn't even consider posting this rendition when I finished it. I was just lacking. My most recent design of Picandle aimed to embrace that fire type look. Taking a look at Galar's Score Bunny inspired me to make a design that didn't need to be all red. I scrapped the variety in colors in favor of more vibrant, fiery colors that help to evoke its typing better. I gave it a crown to reflect its haughty attitude and a more dynamic pose to express its plucky behavior. Picandle, the kindling Pokemon. Stubborn and naive, Picandle is difficult to train due to its childish nature, although it is quick to trust and amicable. Its beautiful plumage makes it a favorite among collectors and those of higher class, though in the wild it makes him easy to spot by predators. Crowick, formerly Kronaka, was always a good design by principle. I enjoyed its scaredy look and panicked demeanor. It was fine by all means, and realistically I could have kept this as its design if I just readjusted its posture. But as with the rest of the evolution, I just felt it wasn't evoking enough of its base to inspiration, that being a crow. So my second... forget it. Here it is. I hate it. It's so... lame. It is literally just a hooded crow with its tail on fire. It doesn't even have different colors from its first evolution. Get it off screen. Anyways. The current Crowick's design takes more so from a fuse-based design. It still has its scaredy look, but it seems more like it's anticipating something bad about to happen rather than actively trying to avoid the inevitable. The faded grey of its body still captures a sense of vibrancy while still reflecting the tail, get it, of its inspiration. Crowick, the lighter Pokemon. Crowick's tails are always burning, and despite the fire not actually harming them, it scares them into a mad dash, igniting anything they run past. Due to the fearful frenzies of this Pokemon, they are more often than not the cause of great wildfires. The end of the story states that the crow has been charred by the smoke of the fire, but one real look at a crow and you'll see a beautiful iridescent hue hidden within the feathers. So my first rendition of Ravincen embraced that, a dark purple obsidian-like color for the body. My only problem with this design was its red head. It seemed more like a rooster than a raven, so my first redesign aimed to fix that. Now, this one still kept the undertones of vibrancy like its previous evolutions, without changing the colors, mind you. I like the direction this one was going. The more stout proportions and even more laid-back personality. So my most recent take on it embraced that stout, relaxed vibe that actual ravens seem to have. And I darkened the vibrant greys on Crowick to embrace that charred look even more. Admittedly, the form was difficult to get, and it took me a few tries until I finally got a good one from a sketch in my book. Ravincen, the Stoker Pokemon. In ancient times, Ravincen brought fire and heat to humans and Pokemon during the winter in exchange for food. Ravincen are wise and capable of solving most problems it faces with ease, often much to people's surprise. Ravincen are calm Pokemon that control the fire on their tail to their benefit. And that's about it for Picandle, Crowick, and Ravincen. I enjoyed this process quite a lot, and I look forward to next time when I share about the last line of starter Pokemon, the water types. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.